Because there were so many things I couldn't relate to in this world, you know, and I felt there's so many stupid things happening. It just didn't seem to be real, you know. And I was just rising all above it and looking down on it. I'm just flying off the earth, right? And just in the dream world.
Talking about cocaine, snowflake.
Yeah. That's all it was, talking about cocaine.
I don't know whether I should really talk about that on this radio show. What was the inspiration behind Snowflake? What's it about? It's all about cocaine.
Uh-huh. January of 1974 arrives, and so does Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, making it their 5th album and their 3rd time in Australia.
Well, this too, I'm really pleased with because, like, the kids are really into it, you know.
How far back do you go on the tour? What do you do? What stuff?
It's hard to sort of change the show, you know, completely every time because people off different albums like to hear different songs, and we try and pick the best songs off each album which we recorded to do live on stage, you know.
I remember when you did the gig at Kooyong last year, there was something like a couple of thousand kids trying to break down the barriers outside. Do you reach any point, no matter whether it's Australia, America, England, or wherever, where you actually feel that the kids are so much into the band that they are going to get you?
It's not a point. I mean, when I'm on the stage, I feel that I can control it to limits. But all you got to do, if it gets out of hand, just stop your playing and walk off. And then when the crowd calm down again, you go back on. But like for instance, the other night in Sydney, the kids had paid to see the show. And there was these guys there with the red coats on, and as soon as anybody stood up, it was like a smack round the mouth and sit down again. And that's not on because they paid to see us, and we're glad to play to them, you know. So I don't see there's any call for any violence of any sort.
Both the Sydney and the Melbourne concerts were a little on the violent side, but the kids got off on them, and John O'Donnell filed this report on their first Melbourne concert.
Right, the show?
Yeah, really great. Fantastic.
What do you think of the show?
Really good, man.
Fantastic. Best group in the world. No worries about it. The new stage act went beautiful.
Excuse me, fellas, what do you think of the show?
I was disappointed they didn't do Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Yeah,
it was a big disappointment. Good.
They didn't do changes either.
No, they didn't. They didn't do any acoustic stuff or anything. I thought they might have done a set of acoustic stuff. A few of the Laguna Sunrise off Volume 4.
Yeah.
Things like that. They didn't do any of that.
Yeah. What about the rest of it? You like what they did?
Good. Yeah. Different from when they were here last time.
Yeah.
They've changed their actor and improved it a lot. Hell of a lot.
Right. Whenever you're ready. Okay, mate. Rolling now. Oh, thank you, Scotty. A little out of breath here. Just been walking around and checking out the reaction to the concert tonight for the first return to Melbourne of Black Sabbath. Whenever you're ready, mate. It's all right, mate. Some guys are just coming in here trying to disconnect the wire. Oh, okay. What station are you actually with? 3XY. What's the matter? I want to know if the show was taken. Well, I don't know. You better go out and ask somebody. Well, what's going to do with me? I haven't recorded anything, man. I've got some equipment here to send some stuff back to the station. Now, leave me alone. What is this before anything goes out? Oh, you just try and stop me. You all right, mate? Oh, I got some hassle from some mate who reckons I'm recording something or something. I recorded the concert. Who does this go to? Back to the radio station, mate, to report on the concert. Well, I'd like somebody to ask before you do things like this. The courtesy thing to do, you could have come and asked somebody if you could do this, you know. We're not supposed to We always come down here, right understand, we always come down here and do reports on the concert from the gig. Now, I could walk out to a telephone and do exactly the same, but we get a better quality on the line by doing it this way, right? There's no way we had any intention of recording the concert. We haven't done anything. Well, I think you should have asked them. No, listen, no, I won't. It's got nothing to do with you. What I'm doing, I'm sending a report for the concert back to the studio to go on the air so I can play a song saying for the people to come back tomorrow night, right? What station? 3XY. Now go and talk to Ron Blackmore if you want it. I don't want to know about you. Right? When it just goes out. If you don't want to, I'll give you. A Bloody Monday down there at Festival Hall the other night. It's Black Sabbath in concert. They're in special right now at 3XY. And
it came out January of this year, 74.
Yeah, that was about... That was a very... I'd rather not talk about that one, actually, because it was a very personal thing, and I wouldn't like to embarrass the person who it was written about, you know.
Geezer Butler.
It was about, the attitude of certain people, like the British press and people like that, you know, really slagging us and everything. And just, doing too many tours and just you know, all the glamorous thing, like, was all over. We'd found out what it's like to be a rock star, like, you know, which is just it's the same thing as being just an ordinary person, like, you know. And all the glamour thing was all gone for us, you know. It had been beaten out of us by then. And Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is just our attitude towards the whole music business, you know, the business side of it.
What was the basic drive to keep the band happy?
The music, really. You know, once we start getting back into the recording. So before every album, like, it's really hard to get back into it after you've been off the road for about 2 or 3 months. And it takes a hell of a long time to get back in, you know, get into each other personally, and then get into the music, you know. Like, usually the first attempts don't seem to be coming off, like, you know, and you get a bit fed up, like, and you start thinking about things. Everything just gets on top of you.
With Paranoid, Supernaut, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, there's a definite riff there, which is, you know, purely Black Sabbath. Are they hard to come up with?
It's all down to feeling, you know. I mean, like, we can sit down and try and get a song together, and nothing will happen. And then, like Sabbath Bloody Sabbath and Paranoid, it just came, just all of a sudden, just came straight out of the blue. We just played the whole thing, all the way through. Just straight off, like, Tony started playing Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, the main riff. And, like, me and Bill just came in on bass and drums, like. We just played together and the whole thing just materialised. Like, there was one on the last album, Spiral Architect. And it took me about 3 months. I just kept sitting there, like, really trying to think of these lyrics, like, for about 3 months. Then one day, I just woke up. It was a lovely day. Went for a walk in my forest, like, came back in, just wrote the whole thing down.
That's Spiral Architect, and you're listening to Black Sabbath in Special tonight on 3XY.
The Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album seems to be the cleanest album that you've done. I mean, as far as separation.
Well, it was the first album that we were totally in control of. You know, it was the first album that we produced ourselves. You know, completely produced ourselves and completely mixed ourselves. And, like, everything that went on it, all 4 of us were there at the time as it was going on. And all 4 of us had exactly the, you know, because the previous albums, like, some tracks I've been unhappy with my bass sound, you know, but it's like being rushed at the last minute. This time we just thought we'd take, well, it took us 6 months to record it, you know. We made sure that everything was as good as we could get it, you know.
Do you have much time between gigs? In the States or England or wherever?
Well, now we do, but at one time it was ridiculous. We used to work so much, so constantly. And, like, to see home was like a holiday, you know. And my wife always just said to me, why don't we go on a holiday? And I say, no way, I don't want to see an aeroplane. I don't want to see anywhere else but England, you know.
Yeah. So how many months off, or a month, or what?
Well, this year, I mean, the God's honest truth, it's taken us a year to recover from the heavy work we did. Because, like, at the end of it all, Bill, the drummer, had hepatitis. I had a nervous breakdown. Geezer had a stone in his kidney, and Tony had a physical breakdown. And it was just a bunch of guys just dying on our feet. And we just decided, what's the point of carrying on like this? Okay, we're earning a lot of bread, but we want to be around just to see the benefit of it all, you know. Yeah.
How long did it take you to get back on your feet again?
Well, we're on our feet now, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. What sort of things you got lined up for the future in Black Sabbath?
Well, we're just in the process at the moment of doing a new album. We're halfway through it, and we're going to finish it when we go back home.
Got a title for it?
We haven't got a title yet. Well, you can't really... Black Sabbath is noted for being a rock band, so you can't really sort of change from one to another. Otherwise, you just... You know, people... You are selling a thing to a product to people, and people like what you do. And I just dig the people who like it, you know, because it's keeping me here, and I like playing to people.